All right, good morning, everybody. What is going on? So, we're going to take a look at some crypto assets since I wasn't able to go live yesterday. We'll go ahead and see what's going on there. I am recording this, so if everything starts to fall apart, I will just upload it like I did last week, recording it from the beginning so nobody misses anything. So, how's everybody doing this fantastic morning? So, I was looking at KuCoin today and realized that I found a lot more assets that you can trade on the future side of things. So I pulled up over here a few of the assets that are trading above 5% today. So you can see we have AVAX DYDX, which is a new thing. This thing is very, very new. I just found it yesterday. I took this trade yesterday. You can see we traded right down to this hourly Heath level. This is all the data that this thing has. It doesn't matter where I go. I can go to Binance, other places. It's still the same, right? You can see Binance is a little bit different. It had a lower ICO than it did on KuCoin. But other than that, the price is the same as of where it is now. But you can see we traded down into this hourly level right there. We were forming a support zone underneath this hourly candle here. All right, you can see that. This one formed support first. You traded down into this. This is when I got long. Put my stop underneath this swing low right here. And this is when I took profits this morning. When this thing traded up into this resistance level right here. I shed it off 75% of the position. And I have moved the stop up to break even, and that would be about 1055. Excuse me. About 1055 is where the entry was. So at about 1250, boom, take profits, move stop loss up to break even. You can see we're pulling back now because of that resistance level there. There's also a level right here that could be keeping price down. You did trade up into it, but you did reverse. This is a pullback. This isn't heavy selling, right? So when you see heavy selling, this would be what you would see, like that's more heavy, right? Bigger candles, little bit of pullback, and then more lower lows or lower closes. You are getting lower closes, but they're not massive lower. They're just barely lower. So you could probably see it trade all the way down to 1136 and it might find support there, right? I don't know what this thing is. I have no clue what it does. I do not care. I will look into it later. I only care what price action is showing me. If it gives me an opportunity to take a position, I will do it. Here's TRX. This thing is rocking today. Boom, up 20%. Tron. This is versus Tether, so it's on KuCoin. You can see there was the all-time high. There is the decline from the all-time high. So you are trading up into this support or resistance level right there. Boom. So chances are you might close under this level today. That's 11 cents. 11.2711. So we'll just call it 11 because if you round it down, it's 11 cents. So if it trades, if it closes right below it, you may see a breakout in the coming days, but we don't know. Here is the pool. Here's the sell-off that we experienced on all crypto assets Tuesday. A lot of these cryptos, a lot of the alts have already taken that move out. Solana, AVAX, here it is. Solana didn't even close red on the day. Solana closed green on the day. Now I did say in that video yesterday that it looked like on the lower time frames that this asset was chilling out. But right as I said that, it started to find support. So it's holding support at about 179. This level right here. This is going to be your support until it isn't. Well, it looks like you've already got a close below. So this big 4-hour candle here would be basically your demand zone. I don't like it when the sizes of the candles are this big in reference to the other ones, the bullish candles. But it was a supply zone. Price traded away. This is the first time it's checked it as support. And you can see these are 4-hour candles. So you have had multiple tests, a few days of testing 173.08. And so far that level is holding as support. You are making lower highs, so you are wedging up. This does not mean it's going to break down. These are typically looked at as a bull flag situation. So people are going to be watching a trend line on the highs, looking for a break, and then trying to take a position on it. And you can see that you are wedging up tight. So what I would say to you, if you are in the camp that wants to short this asset, make sure you get a 4-hour closure below 173 and then wait another 4-hour candle to make sure it's not a bear trap, right? A close below and then a push back up above would be indicative of a bear trap. And in a situation like that, you would probably want to be taking longs based on that 4-hour bear trap, if that's what happens, right? If you get a closure below and then price trades back up into your last bullish candle, would probably be this one. If you did get a big stab down, if price trades back up into that candle and then starts to reverse, once price gets back below that level, this price, then you can look to take shorts and throw a stop up there. Because even though it's a pretty wide stop loss, if you were to take your entry back upon resumption back below there and get your stop over here, over the high, I don't know where the high is. Currently, it's right here. To your support, you're at a 2-to-1. You see how that works? This is your support. If you do get that break, a close below, and then a retest back up to search for supply, if it does indeed find supply and starts to trade back lower, then your risk to reward is going to be a 2-to-1 down to the next support. The next support is going to be 152. This bearish candle's close. That will be your next support zone. And that's on a 4-hour. It's probably not that low on an hourly. All right, it's probably not that low on an hourly, but it is still a pretty good trade. And you could probably tighten up that stop loss even too. So let's just see what happens. Now, if it breaks out, you're looking for a retest, not of the trend line. You're not looking for a retest of the trend line. You're looking for a retest of old demand. Let me see something here. I might have to change this mouse out. I got to put so much pressure on it to keep it working for some reason. But yeah, so a breakout, then you'll be looking for a retest back into your supply or your Heath level, and then that would be your entry to the upside. It's very stretched out, guys. It's trading up over 1,000% from the lows. All right, I mean, if you're taking bullish positions on this thing, you're taking bullish positions literally at what could be the very top, the very tip top. I mean, even if it does break out, you've been consolidating for 3 days, 1, 2, 3 red days. So it could be getting ready to make a run back to the upside. It's definitely not bearish at all. Not on the daily. Your RSI is well above 50. It is putting in a little bit of divergence because you got this peak here that is just a little bit higher than these two peaks. So that is technically divergence. But a lot of people like to see that bearish candle take out the topping candles before they would call it actual divergence. But in my opinion, once that happens, the divergence just played out. So I mean, if you're taking trades based on divergences, I don't, but I call it out when I see it. That way, some people do, right? Some people love to take trades off divergences. If you do lose this area up here and it's not a red candle, it's actually support from this bullish candle, right? So the lowest we could get was 4 hour to find that support, but your daily support's all the way down to 147. So there's about $20 there, $25 there that you can look for ups or downside if it does break down. It's absolutely rocking and rolling. AVAX, here's your sell off Tuesday, big sell off day. Boom, straight to the highs. Took out the highs. That looks good for Bitcoin too. I mean, if these alts are able to do it, Bitcoin can absolutely do it too. Now, Bitcoin is at a key level right now. If the selling is going to commence, it will do it from here. Let's go into a smaller time frame chart. You can see 4 hour resistance all the way up here at 470.11. Roughly 470.11. Let's see what it is. 470.13. So that's your 4 hour resistance. All right. Support made a lower low, a lower close, and a lower low from this low, not this low. This is your exhaustion candle, right? It doesn't mean that we're going to see more continuation to the downside when you see this candle. What this is exhaustion risk. That's what it is. Basically, your buyers are exhausted up here because once you got into this price up above resistance, that's where all the supply was setting. And all the buyers that were buying, even up into here, were not nearly as aggressive as all the sell orders that started to come through here. That's why you got a massive drop to the downside. Once you start taking stops out here, 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 and here, that's when it just starts to fall. Boom, 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 boom. So at best, I could see price trading all the way back up to 50K just to retest some of this lost base up here. The problem is it looks like it's being accumulated. You're into resistance, which was an old area that we were looking for Bitcoin to hold here for purchases, looking for price to trade back up into resistance. Let's get rid of this. So you can see this is an old Heath level right there. So when price traded away, we're looking for this level to hold. There's a close right on it. Notice how your closes are getting closer and closer to the level. Nice bullish stab down. Then you close up and your next candle, boom, that's your breakdown. So this has to hold as resistance for the sellers. That's your daily, but it's real close to the 4 hour as well here. So you're testing that now. If there are any buyers in this asset, they got to get it up above this because people will be shorting here. You can already see that profits are being taken, right? We know that because we see a pullback candle. This is profit taking from all the traders that took it here. They're taking profits here. You also have new shorts that are starting to enter trades. This is why you get pullbacks. Hello everyone, what's up FD? I was wondering if you took any entry on Veil. Thoughts about ADA USD? Thank you. No, I did not take it. Oh, Veil, yes I did. I haven't looked at my crypto portfolios, my stock portfolios, so I don't know what's going on with it. Well, it doesn't look like I got stopped out. Not yet. My stop is sitting below this line. It's a wide stop because I'm looking to hold this for a long time, right? So we did get a push down into there. What was that? It was a quarterly level. Yeah, beautiful. That's what I wanted to see. I took positions a little bit higher. I know I got filled at 1850. But I did have more limit order setting down here as well. So yeah, we'll see. If it starts to trade back below this swing low, then I'll be stopped out. So it's a very wide stop, right? Very wide stop. This is a quarterly level, so if buyers are going to pick up some risk, right there would be a good spot to do it. The reason I like this is because they're one of the Tesla's biggest lithium providers. Excuse me, my nose is itching. So yeah, it looks, there was a nice test of it. Let's see if it holds up, right? It's gonna, this position's gonna take time. This isn't a day trade. This isn't a scalp. This is something that I'm just looking to hold for a while. And ADA, that's what you said, right? Yeah, ADA. So we were discussing this in the chat just a little bit ago. So this is, all right, let's go look at it. Here, let me do it this way. Let me just bring you over here to the study charts. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's the wrong thing. This may change the sound a bit. Let's see what happens. All right, so I got 2 desktop audios. Let's mute that one. Let's unmute this one. All right, so that should be good. Hopefully you can still hear me. This is the section that I've just named study charts. It's basically so people can go in and look. So this is what it looks like intraday on ADA. Here is the daily right here. So you can see the daily Heath level right there. And there's your breakout, test of resistance. This is when people take profits. That's why price falls. Now this is the resumption. Price trading down to retest your Heath level or your demand. That's where demand should be sitting if they're going to be continuation of bullish price action. You have buyers setting there. And you can see that that wick down, tested it, boom, back up. So now you're green on the day. So let's go look intraday. This is what that looks like. Here's your big, strong breakout to the upside. This is intraday price action coming back in. This is the daily Heath level. Look at that. Touch, touch. Then you start to trade away. This would have been an optimal entry zone for bullish continuation, aiming for the high of day. Now, we don't know if it's going to get there because, as you can see on that as my other chart, and then here's what it looks like on the daily. This is price trading up above this zone. Come back in for a retest. There it is. This is resumption. So back over here to the other monitors, or the other monitor. What we are looking at intraday is this is the high of today's candle. This is the low of today's candle. All right. When that's yesterday's high. Apologies, because 2000 hours is the open. So right here was the open for the new daily. Right? It opened red, traded all the way down to the daily Heath level, and then once you got back above that open, which was here, which was right here, that's when your daily turned green. So you can see the daily's green on the day. As long as you're trading above this bearish candle, you're green on the day. So what I did was I wanted to show you where sellers might want to look to participate in this if they think that the market's going to roll over, that this is the high. Here's your fib from swing high to swing low. It just so happens that the swing low is also at a daily Heath level. And then this is your 618 retracement right here. See it? Now this is an hourly chart. Big strong explosion move to the upside. This is the first attempt to get above it. Not only is it the 618 fib retracement level for your inside day range, it's also hourly support. Here, this bearish hourly close, that's support. This is the first time you broke down from this support level. This is the first time you have retested that support level. So not only is it a 618, it is also an old support. Now, obviously, I have no clue at all if the sellers are going to get involved here, right? But this is an area where they would, where I would. If I was looking to take a short on Cardano, this would be a spot I would look for it to happen. How do you do that? Intraday. Well, I just screwed that up. Let's get rid of the fib because the fib made it. We already know that the 618 is right there. We can simplify it just by simply putting that support zone there. That's what you're testing. The fib just helps. Now I have an arrow pointed down because that's a figurative measure move. If you were to get sell side back into the market, you would probably see an expansion all the way down to 239, 240. That's only if the sellers get involved here. And remember, it's whoever's the most aggressive. It's not if there's buyers or if there's sellers. There's buyers for every seller and there's sellers for every buyer in the form of market makers. So it's when the sellers or the buyers are more aggressive. So right now, what I would be watching, this mouse is difficult to deal with, is I would be watching this resistance level here, this last hourly close. If you get an hourly close above that, I would not be looking for shorts because the bulls are in control on the daily, or they were in control until you got that sell-off. But it's not a massive sell-off. It's not even as big as this one was, this candle here. So it's just a small sell-off. This can absolutely be a buying opportunity on a lot of these things, guys. I don't know that they're going to turn over. I have no clue. But it does look like it. Looks like it's trying to. Not necessarily this one, but Bitcoin, based on the 2-week chart. But see how you just traded right back below that level? So this is the level that's in play right now. The sellers are going to get involved. They're going to get involved here, right? Stops are going to be setting above this wick high. And your more professional guys, they're looking for a bigger push. So their stops are probably up here. All right, now for us day traders or scalpers, we're looking to get out of a position if it's going in the opposite direction. We don't want to be in it no more. But your bigger guys, your guys with like that are doing this for big money, they've already got a bet going on that they think it's going to go lower and they think it's going to do it here. So even if I put a short here right now with a stop above this wick right there, something like that, where do you got to go to get to 2 to 1? Here. So you don't even have to go all the way back down to that swing low, and it's a successful trade. Boom. In fact, it's right down here where hourly demand is. So that's where you would be taking profits. That's where you'd be exiting your position. That's why price wedges up like this. It stays within these zones until it doesn't. Here was a break of one. But your daily levels are going to be the levels that you want to pay attention to most, and that's especially if you're trying to take a position based on a daily range expansion. You're looking for the daily range to expand in one way or the other, and you want to be on the right side of the trade. But on the daily, we can go over here and see that you're not below the 50. All right? You're not below the 50. Here are your moving averages. You're still sitting pretty on this asset, man. You're setting right now, you're trading above the 21 on the daily. Like, that's absolutely rock solid. That's bullish. So any pullbacks have to be looked at as buying opportunities in a bullish scenario, and this is a bullish scenario. Any way you want to cut it. Let's go over here to Bitcoin real quick so I can do a little bit more explanation. See, here's Bitcoin. You lost a 21. See how it's structured just a little bit differently? Now, here, let's go over here. This is support. Daily support, 43, 8, 45, 60. No daily closes have been even near this area since this candle was put in. So if you wanted to, you could watch that one first, but it's so close to the other one. And here's a perfect test. Let's get rid of those moving averages. I just wanted to show you where they were. You are testing the 50 right now, which is a buying opportunity in a bullish market. Bitcoin, though, it has changed, but this is only on the daily. 3-day, you're still bullish. Look, you're still bullish. You're still above the 50. You're above all your major moving averages on the 3-day. That's your midweek chart. Here's your weekly. Still bullish. A touch of the 20. Still above the 50. You are still bullish. If anything, this is a pullback on a larger time frame. Now, the 2-hour or the 2-week looks completely different. All right? Looks completely different. It looks like it's telling a totally different story. So I went back in Bitcoin's history and I looked for 2-week engulfings to the downside or to the upside, and I didn't find many, right? The first ones I looked for the downside, but I did it on the BLX index. I didn't find many. So this is a half of a month. It's a lot of time, but this is the candle in question. The reason that this candle is the one in question, let me take you back into the past. All right, here was 2-week resistance. There's your breakout. That's not quite a test. This one here, not quite a test of it. But there was buyers. Next 2-week, made a new resistance to the upside. Ever be it so slightly, just a little bit right there. Closed above. And then this big monstrous thing came in. Boom. Where did it stop? At support. Old resistance. Here's old resistance. This is also an area to get long if you're bullish. Traded right back into it, right? There's your pullback for the shorts, but bulls that took this position think that they're sitting pretty. And as long as their stop is below this swing low here, they are sitting pretty, right? They know resistance is coming up here. So as this is trading up, market participants are looking at it and saying, hey, I want to get short based on, I think there's going to be follow through because of this candle and I have somewhere to put my stop against. And I am targeting back down here to this. Now, everybody that got long here, their stop is probably under this wick. So when this happened, right, traded up just enough to take out that high. If I can make it bigger, I'll show you. So here you go. Here's the high. You traded just barely above it. So you took out that high. And then you traded all the way down. And then once you got to here, that's where the stops were. Boom. That's why you got such a massive expansion. Because this liquidated so many long positions looking for bullish continuation. All right. You can even throw a trend line on it. On the 2-week. Something like this. Right? So you can see how important this buying position was. Right here. So many people got long right there, guys. And they took advantage of them. Bam! So that's done, right? The trend's done. It's over. Next trend. Top to top. That trend's done too. Shit, I did that wrong. Apologies. Here. There. There. That trend's done too. Take off the log. Break. There. But the problem is this level is still as strong as it can be. Now you can take this and put it over here as your downside supply. And look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Ran up, took out the highs, drop it like it's hot, take out the lows. Boom. So this, what you're seeing right now on the smaller time frames, is profit taking for the shorts, right? This is all profit taking. This is also limit orders getting hit to get into the market, and it's also stop losses getting triggered. Massive wick to the downside. So the last 5 days or 4 days have been chewing up those orders, right? That's all it's doing. It's in price discovery right now. It's in price discovery right now. Next place for stops are going to be this swing low. Next place for stops is going to be this swing high. So you can get rid of everything. Look at it like that. So who is going to win? So from here to here, you're inside that range. So the risk can still be to the upside because these are so much closer than these. But it doesn't matter, right? It's whoever is the most aggressive is going to change the market around. There are levels to look at for possible continuation. But the way that I'm looking at it on the 2-week chart is I'm going to let the 2-week chart play itself out. This is the way I'm going to look at it. As long as you're not closing a 2-week candle above 48,787.70, which is your resistance, you're probably going to be looking for more continuation to the downside. Right? At least to this low. But if you do get a close above that, not today. You got 8 hours left on this candle. I'm not talking about today's close. I'm talking about next 2 weeks close. That's the one that's going to matter. This is put into motion just the same thing that this one did. Right here. So the sellers were there. We know the sellers were there. Here is what I'm expecting this week. Is the next 2-week session is for this candle to trade up into resistance. Maybe even a little higher than it. Wherever that candle closes, that's where my bias is going to be situated. Once this candle closes, if it closes above resistance, then I'm looking for bullish entries, and I will be targeting this resistance level up here at 58,419.40. If you close back below this, I will be targeting this low down here at 37,355. And it's that simple. Good morning, Janice Whip. Good morning, everybody. Please do ADA, big bro. I want to add to my hodl. Hey, Heath, I said if ETH were to take, you said if ETH were to take out the breakout candle, you are going to trim on the next push. Now that has happened, do you still plan on do that? I haven't yet. ETH doesn't look very good to me. But on the 2 week chart, you're still trading above resistance. So it's not mucho bearish, right? It's still bullish. There's 8 hours left on this close. This thing looks like it's going to close bullish. Closes matter, and the color of the candle matters because it's showing you direction. If it closes red, then that means it's trading back below the open of this session. If it's trading above it, then it's going to be green. So it's still trading above the open. So you're still bullish. On the smaller time frames, though, you do not look bullish at all. But here is this, all this is support, right? All of this. So you traded right down into it. There's going to be a ton of orders setting here, and it's going to chew those up. Here is what it is dealing with right now. Right now. On the daily. Just the daily. So this could be a buying area. This could have been bought up like all these other alts. They are all trading above their highs. Solana, Cardano, everything is trading above all-time highs. This hasn't taken this out yet, but it looks good, right? You're bullish. You took out resistance yesterday. You tested it today. It looks like it wants to continue to the upside. Here is the area that you're going to have to be worried about once it gets up there, and that's 283. So it looks good. A lot of these do. Here's Luna. Sell off here. Boom. Way above it. This candle's so big because so many people, including myself, thought that this was over with. So many people. But the way that I trade kept me from shorting this asset. Because here was the sell-off. Right here. And during the day, when we were trading back up into this, I told everybody in the chat, if you get an hourly closure above this, leave it alone. There's your hourly closure above it. So there was no short position taken. Here's a test of that level. Here's another test of that level. Then sayonara. This thing literally smoked every single person that tried to get short here, 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 and here. And here. Like, just smoked them. And then there's continuation to the upside. So, yeah, I mean, maybe now it shorts. I don't know. It's just, I don't like shorting stuff that are extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. I do not like it. So, I'm not touching it. But it absolutely took out its selling day. So this thing is no longer bearish. And I'm afraid that that's probably what's going to happen to Bitcoin. Here's DOT, right? DOT is already testing resistance. Let's get rid of these levels because I didn't do much on DOT as far as technical analysis. Here is your resistance level. DOT's trading into it. So basically what you can say is DOT's already retraced this entire bearish move outside of taking out the high. If it gets above that high, you're going to see it rip too because there are so many short sellers that have their stops sitting above that high. Boom. You can see this thing trading at $46, $48 in the next couple days. As long as the buyers are there, willing to go. Well, I take that back. It could definitely get up to there and then there. So $38 to $40. Then the next high or the next resistance is $48. It just looks like the selling on a lot of these alts is done. It's over with. It's just like a flash crash or something, which happened to be a buying opportunity. On AVAX, buying opportunity. Solana, buying opportunity. Now, I did short Solana, and I ended up closing that position out when we closed this thing green. That's not good. Massive move to the downside, and you close bullish on the day. Here's a retest right into, you guessed it, that's bullish continuation. Look at that. Boom. That's a bullish entry. So, yeah. A lot of these things are flying. So I haven't touched ETH yet because I would hate to sell a position if that turns out to be an awesome buying opportunity. Can you please check YFII USD? Yeah. You didn't say on what. I don't see KuCoin. Let's look at it on Coinbase. It doesn't. It's not going to show me all the data though, because this is probably new on Coinbase. FTX. There we go. FTX. Yeah, FTX massive run or YFII. Big strong push up, and you've already retraced that. DeFi money. I have no clue what this asset is. You were talking about 4 hour specifically, right? Higher, low, 4 hour entry now. Man, I wouldn't take an entry on it now. Not for a bullish position. Yes, it's making higher lows, but you're coming off of this. What does your daily say as far as momentum? So you've lost momentum. You've lost bullish momentum. You've lost your 21. So it looks similar to Bitcoin. Here's the thing. If this thing closes where it is now or lower, you are going to be essentially retesting the underneath side of bullish momentum. Boom, boom. So, boom, possibly. I wouldn't be looking for bullish entries until you get back above this 50. So, no, not an entry. It's a wait and see. Here's daily support. So, watch that on a daily closing basis for 41725. The 4 hour is just basically bouncing in between your demand and supply. Well, there is no demand here, but there's 4 hour resist support. Sorry, 4 hour support. Here is your daily or your 4 hour supply. So this is your price range for now. If you want to take a long as close to this as possible and be smart. Use 1% of your lever or your risk, what you're willing to risk, 1% under this wick. That way, if you get stopped out, you know you're wrong. I wouldn't buy it up here right into an area where there's sure to be sellers. It's wedging up. You see? It's wedging up. So let it break out. Let it come back in and let that level hold. If that level holds, that can be a buying opportunity. Let price tell you what it's doing. Don't try to guess what it's going to do. Let it tell you what's happening. If you're taking out support levels to the downside, sellers are in control. If you're taking out resistance levels to the upside, buyers are in control. And you want to technically look for places to possibly take entries based on what price is showing you. Right now you're trading in a range. You are wedging up inside of a demand zone and a supply zone. Supply, demand. You are trading inside of it. So if you want to put a tight risk on, watch that, right? If a 4 hour comes back down and touches that right there and starts to trade away, maybe you can take a small position with a stop under that candle's low. That gives you a lot better risk to reward because then you're only looking for a take profit here. Right here. So something like this. This is not financial advice either, ever, guys. Ever, ever, ever. I'm just trying to help you see the markets to make better decisions for yourself. Let's see here. So it's be about a 1.5 to 1. 1.5 to 1. If you took entry here and took profits there. So hopefully that helps. I don't know. I mean, it's in a range, man. It's ranging. You're gonna have to give it time to situate itself. Yeah, stay on the sidelines for now. Yeah, sorry, I should have read that question right after your other question. What's up, Ajit? What's up, y'all? Nice analysis, Heath. I'm still bullish BTC, but we'll definitely see. Yeah, I'm bullish on it long term myself. Like, I only buy Bitcoin. Only buy Bitcoin. So we'll see if this turns out to be a buying opportunity or not. It's not looking great right now, but it's the weekend. The real price action will come in later. There's not going to be any gaps really, right? As long as today trades basically within the range that it's already made. No massive gaps to look to get filled on the futures. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's this? Kusama. It's moving up. And Atom moving up. So you got some movers today, and they're all moving up. These are all from the KuCoin exchange. You're breaking out above resistance on Atom. There it is. There's your resistance level. Look how nicely it held price the last 2 days, and then boom, stuck it to him. How can I best determine take profit levels when all-time high is broken and asset is in price discovery, i.e. EGLD versus Sol? Oh, sorry, I just broke the microphone almost. EGLD versus Solana. Oh, wait, I guess it's not versus Solana. You're talking about both of those assets. So let's look at Binance. Take profit levels. I mean, you could take your fibs, but the thing is you never know what's going to happen. I was just having this conversation the other day with a guy, with someone in the Trade Talk Discord. He was like, he was confused as to like not really wanting to take off any, because he's heavy into Bitcoin. He didn't say if he was leveraged or not, but he's heavy into Bitcoin. And he's at a crossroads, right? He's like, I don't know. I don't want to take profits because if it keeps going higher and goes up to $150,000 like all these perma Bitcoin bulls are thinking, then I'm going to lose all that money if I exit the trade now. But if the bears are right and it goes back down, then I'm going to lose all of the profits. When you get in a scenario like that, it's going to be up to you. You have to essentially look at your position, weigh the pros and cons. What would make me happy? So that way, whatever happens down the road, I won't beat myself up for it. Well, that's hard to answer because welcome to trading. You're going to constantly beat yourself up. You're going to constantly say, oh, if I woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is why I approach trading like more mathematically, like I'm looking for percentage gains and stuff. I'm looking for resistance and support levels to take profits and stuff, so that way it becomes more of a fixed thing. There is no emotion in it. Like I take positions at this, I take profits here, then I move my stop loss to break even, then I move on to the next position, right? Take out those emotions, take them out of the game. How do you do that on EGLD? Well, you got a nice big strong run today, dude. You're up big on the day. Big on the day. Take profits. Where did you enter? Move your stop loss to break even and sit it out. If it's just now going to start because you just now today got above your all-time high. So if this is going to be a short squeeze could last for days and days. So I hate telling you to take profits now, but you can also see more selling up here because people are taking profits and short sellers are stepping up. We don't know what price is going to do. So if you make it more mathematical, make it more like a robot and check your emotions at the door, it becomes a whole lot easier for you. You can take profits up here. You're doing nice. Move your stop loss to break even, wherever that may be. And if you do get a short squeeze and it continues to run up to say 400 or 450, you're still making money because you still are in the position with a decent size of it. 1/3 is still a fantastic piece, right? So where it is now, however much money you got now, if you get up into that area, you're going to see about half that again, right? So it's just, you have to weigh out the pros and cons for yourself and decide, hey, do I want to make this more of a thing that has, it's hard for me to explain, really. Do I want to continue to let my emotions dictate what I do, or do I want to have a systematical approach to this stuff? That's the best way to do it. That's why a lot of guys, they don't believe in technical analysis, and they don't believe in the approach that we take as traders, controlling our own buys and sells. They let robots do it. They program algorithms to do it. But I'm discretionary at heart. My discretionary approach is better than his robotic approach because I'm watching price every single day. And I don't have to worry about a robot not executing a stop on a massive move to the downside, right? Generally speaking, they pretty much do, but that's just me. Computers run already enough of our lives. I don't want it to. In that case, you're not even trading. The computer's trading for you. You have to learn to beat your emotions to become profitable in this game. Yeah, I got what you were saying. And then Sol's the same thing, right? You've had a couple days of pullback on Sol. So I would take profits, dude. It's up 1,000% since the lows. I mean, I don't know where your entry was. I have no clue, so I don't know what you're looking at. Yeah, use the system. Take profits when you're in price discovery. But let me go back over there, or I guess I could do it here. Let me see. I mean, there is a fib that tool can help, right? It's not going to be perfect. This fib extension tool down here. So I don't want to use this. Let's use this low to this high, right? And see what it would have done for you. So from this low to this high to this low, right there. So these are all profit levels that you can take profits. If this was the all-time high, right? Say you executed a position in this pullback and you were looking for possible take profit zones. Well, there's a bunch of them. Where is price going to stop? Nobody knows. There's nobody that can say, oh, price is going to stop at the one spot 272 level at 192.435 because I know. It doesn't work like that. This thing will keep running depending on how big the squeeze is. It is a short squeeze. When something's making new all-time highs, make no doubt about it, you are squeezing shorts. That's why it is going up. That's why GameStop went up. That's why AMC went up. That's why this is going up. Because people keep trying to short it, and the buyers need less momentum to keep price going in its right direction. Their stops get executed, price goes up higher. It's just a never-ending cycle. Once this thing finds enough supply to where it can quit going up, that's when you're going to see a massive pullback on this, where you could absolutely even see exhaustion risk to where you get something that looks like that. Boom. Back down to 110 in the span of one day. Like we seen the other day. That was a massive move. This thing was up 18% on the day, then dropped 30%, and then went back up 50%. So that's almost a 100% move in one day in three different directions. First up, then down, then back up. It's insane. This thing is flying. It has a lot of people wanting to buy it right now. A lot of people think this is just the beginning for this asset. And if you look at it like on a value comparison, like a value traders or value investors, they're looking at it like, hey, it's at 178. Well, where's Ethereum? Ethereum is trading at $3,400. If this is better than Ethereum and it's trading at $178, then that's value. I'll put my stop down here at 0, right? Because I'm expecting this thing to be trading at $3,000 in the next 10 years. Because I'm expecting this thing to beat Ethereum. That's really the best approach when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Is there value there or is there not? Doge, no value. The only thing that gives Doge value is speculation. Speculation gives Doge all of its value. Whereas Ethereum, Solana, Luna, all these things, Bitcoin, they all have a use case. They all have a specific reason why they have value. So cryptos is yeah, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic market, but you can get really hurt bad if you're trading with a lot of leverage because these things can move really fast. Really fast. But yeah, be a robot. That's the way to do it. Take profits, move stops, look for the next position. You're still riding in it with a small percentage of the original position. You're not going to make as much money, but you're still making money as it goes up. And ain't that a good way to be? Make money while you do nothing. The original position's done. It's over with. Let's continue to make money. Do it. Do it to it. Yeah. Let's see here. TRX. We did discuss DYDX at the beginning, the trade that I took there. I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's, I don't know. Intraday, it looked like a decent opportunity. It turned out to be. And see, also, that was also daily resistance. Here. Right there. So I take profits in front of those areas because you may not get above it. That's resistance. So that's why I took profits. Boom, right there. There's my profit taking. Boom, move my stop up to break even. So now if this thing comes down, find support, and runs all the way up to $500, I still have a pretty nice position in it. A quarter of the position because it's KuCoin. I can't do 1/3. I can only do quarter increments, 25, 50, and 75%. So if it 100x's, then I'll make 25% of the initial, not 25%, but you get what I'm trying to say. A finder's fee. It's doing good. And also I found out that we can trade Shiba or Shibo or whatever that stupid thing is. Where's it at? Was it this? It was on KuCoin. Shiba Inu. Yeah, this thing. So I put an alert down here. If it trades back down to here, then maybe I'll buy some. $10 will buy you like 400 million of these things. I say we make more money over the long term. You're absolutely right about that. It's not about the position you're taking now. No, it's about what happens later. Holding without a target is like pissing in the wind. Yes? Yep. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you, Alex. You got to have profit targets. You got to have areas on the charts where you can take your risk and minimize it. That's the goal. I don't like losing money. If you can get in a place to where you don't like losing money either, that'll keep you from taking a bunch of positions that you shouldn't have been taking in the first place because they weren't high probable setups. And it'll also get you into a spot to where you understand that I love to trade, but what is it about trading that I love? It's about the potential to make money. If you're just buying here, there, here, there, you're not making money. You're losing money. The more often you put risk in the market, the higher chances you're going to have to lose that risk. So if you dial it back, take fewer positions, but at higher probable areas, this starts to add up in the long term, years from now, not today, not tomorrow, years from now. That's what you got to look for. You're not going to get rich trading in a week or in a year even. It's going to take a lot of time. There's a process. You must learn that process. Once you have the right mindset, the right processes, then you're going to start making money. It's going to be fantastic. Peri and XBI. PERI. Looks like it's a stock. It looks like we've already looked at this before. It's setting at an area where it could potentially be support, right? It is your last resistance level. Here is that breakout of that resistance level. Now, this was a test 2 days ago. And now you're back down. So If this thing doesn't in the next day or two get back above 20 bucks and 50 cents, this red candle, if you don't get back above that on a closing daily basis, you're probably going to see this thing go lower. So if you're in a position, like for instance, if you bought on this day and you've been holding it, you might want to think about exiting. Anytime I get into a position on a day trade or a swing trade or any trade, if it comes back to my position, my original entry after a specific set of time, I'm exiting the position because I'm potentially on the wrong side. I do get burned sometimes from doing that because as soon as I exit the position, it goes back in the right way, and I would have sat in it if I would have just kept it still. But it's more or less with day trading than it is swing trading. Because on a swing trading position, your stop's wider, right? So, but I have a firm belief that you should never let a green trade turn red. If you are in profit and you go back down to negative, that's 100% your fault. You could have exited that position at any point in time and made money on the trade instead of losing money on the trade. It's some people think that's the wrong way. Some people think that that's wrong. You'll never become a profitable trader. Well, they can't say that to me. They can say that to a new trader. They can't say it to me. I don't like losing money. That's the one thing that I hate the most is losing money. So if I'm in a position and it's getting ready to go red on me, I'm getting out. I can take a position again tomorrow. I don't need to take it today. So if this thing does not look like it wants to hold, that's a strong close or a weak close. So you opened up here above resistance or right at resistance. You traded above resistance a little bit and then you boom, you closed right on the level. So there's a pretty good chance that this may break down. I don't see anything on a smaller time. Let's go look on a smaller time frame. Yeah, there's a couple zones of support right under you. This could be potential support at 1924, and then here, 1947, and then this one, obviously. So that'll give you 3 areas to where you may find support Monday morning. And what was your other one? XBI? But it does look like the sellers are in control. And this is a spider ETF. Let's see here. You didn't lose support, but you're trying to. Here's support. What caught resistance up here? It's just an old level. Let's look at it on the weekly. Sometimes it's better to look at stocks on the higher time frames. Because people are taking entries on these things based on quarterlies and stuff. It looks good on the quarterly, man. I mean, it absolutely looks like this thing is getting accumulated at around 120 bucks. So, smaller time frames. Where's the 120 bucks? Down here. Yeah, the bounces are getting smaller over time. So, yeah, if you do break down and come all the way down to 120, that's a 3-day. That's a long way down. Next support here. Watch this, 128.94. I don't know what it is. Biotech ETF. Yeah, biotechs supposedly are getting ready to blow up, a couple people think, because of this new genome therapy stuff. And technology's grown so much to help scientists. So biotechs might blow up. There's a couple that I had written down the other day, but I can't find that paper that I was looking at. None of them look great, though. It doesn't look great. It looks like it's consolidating from low to high, right? I would probably look for more entries closer to 120, as that's your quarterly area. And maybe by that time, when you get back, if you get back down to there, then the sellers will be get exhausted, and you can see gains to the upside. I don't know if I'd take a position here. you did take out these near-term resistance levels, so I mean, it does look good. Watch these two near-term price levels for possible support. Last request from me, Heath, can you check out DBC commodity index on long-term chart, probably monthly? I don't know if I can on TradingView. I'll type in DBC and do my best. You said commodity index. This is it right there on the NYSE, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. I'm hoping this is it. It's the tracking fund. Long-term, probably monthly. Yeah, because it's gappy. Very gappy. Even the monthly's got gaps, but that gap was closed. This gap is what I'm referring to. It opened all the way up there, closed the gap. See ya. So you traded all the way back down to your old resistance level here. That is resistance, was resistance until you got to close above it, but it's still an old level. So it's only natural that price goes back in for a retest. It looks like it might be getting ready to head lower. I would watch 1791 if I was looking for bullish entries. That's where I would want to enter it. Because what it seems to me is going on right now is retail will look at this as buying pressure. It is a monthly, so it takes a long time for this to happen. But they think that because it spikes down and then trades back up, that's buying pressure and it's going to go higher. Occasionally it does work out like that, but in my experience, this isn't target. Because this was a push lower, this is just a pullback to go back lower again. And you can see on this month, you did take out that target. But now you've left another target. So you're going to be watching monthly closes on this because it is the monthly time frame. There's 18 days left on this close. If you close above that 1946, then this looks to me like it will have been bought up, and it looks like it is trying to go higher. Then you'll be looking for buying positions close to this candle's open as possible on the next month's pullback. That's only if you break out. If you cannot close above this, you're probably going back down to 1791 again, and that might be a good spot to look for bullish entries. If not, 1685 definitely will be. It's been going straight up for the last few years. Well, since April 2020. So for the last year, it's been going straight up. Straight up. Just a couple months of pullback in there. So it's also an old resistance over here. So that looks like a good spot to buy and possibly there. If this is something that's like, if you're hodling this like a normal person does with index funds and stocks and stuff, that's what I would be looking for. Do you trade margin account or trading account on KuCoin? Says Ray H. I trade on the, I just slipped my mind. It's not either of those. It's the futures. I trade on the Futures Pro platform on KuCoin. Futures Pro. You are welcome, Lori. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll give you guys a few seconds to throw in some other questions if you got them. If not, we'll end it here and say have a great day trading. I got to do, I have to do a video on KuCoin. The problem is I'm not sure how to do it without having a live funds in it, because I haven't figured out a way to do it with a paper trading account, because I haven't found one yet for KuCoin or demo. So that way I can do a video on it explaining to people what I do, how I use that platform. Yeah, my plan is to rotate profits from crypto to commodity, precious metals, and stuff like that. Fantastic. All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic day. As always, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comment section below, my friends, and I will answer them. Make sure you trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody.